Today I'm going to rank all the Hammer Dracula films. There's 9 of them because I'm counting the Bride of Dracula and the Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires. So I'll rank them in order from 9 to 1, 1 being the best. And it's just my opinion, yours will be completely different to mine. So let's start the video off. So this ranking will be like me other video that I did, the Hammer Frankenstein films. So if you haven't seen the Frankenstein video, check that one out. It's in reverse order from 9 to 1. In 9th place, I've got The Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires from 1974. This was directed by Roy Ward Baker and Cheh. Although it's officially the final film in the Hammer Dracula series, I don't really count it because Christopher Lee's not in. I'd rather class the Satanic Rites of Dracula as the final in the series, with Christopher Lee being in that film. And The Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires is the only film in the series that I don't really like. The only good thing about it is Peter Cushing's in, playing Van Helsing for his 5th and final time. It's a strange film. It's a mix of kung fu action and vampire horror. However, the kung fu action sequences are badly choreographed. And the guy who plays Dracula, he's a strange looking person. He's got red lipstick on. So instead of looking like Dracula, he looks more like an old drag queen. So it's definitely the weakest in the series, in my opinion.
Who dares to disturb the sanctity of Dracula?
In 8th place, I've got The Scars of Dracula from 1970. This is also directed by Roy Ward Baker. He's directed me 2 least favourite in the series. And I used to highly regard this film, but it's dropped down a lot in my list. Although Christopher Lee has a lot to say in this film, he isn't menacing enough. His face looks too pale, there's too much powder on it, and the film has no continuity with the other films in the series. Basically, it's just the same old stuff with no style. The best thing about it's Patrick Troughton. He gives a good performance. And when Dracula dies, it's power. He just gets struck by lightning. In 7th place, I've got Dracula Prince of Darkness from 1966. This was directed by Terence Fisher, and he directed the first 3 films in the series. This was his 3rd and last. This is a strange film because Dracula has no dialogue whatsoever. And this is a pity because Christopher Lee has a great voice. And this makes this version of Dracula less menacing, because you don't hear him speak, just snarling. The film does have a good spooky activation scene where Dracula's servant activates Dracula by using someone's blood. However, Dracula's death scene at the end of the film's poor. He just drowns. He falls under some ice. Also, Peter Cushing's a miss, as Van Helsing's not in this film. I think the best thing about this film's Barbara Shelley. She's really good. The character changes as she turns into a vampire. In 6th place, I've got The Bride of Dracula from 1960. This is directed by Terence Fisher again, and it's a highly regarded film in the series. However, Christopher Lee's not in. Instead, we have David Pale as a vampire. However, Peter Cushing's in as Van Helsing. It's a beautiful looking film, very gothic, and has a fairy tale quality to it. The only disappointing thing with Christopher Lee not being in is a big miss, as David Pale's not as good. And I think that's partly the reason why this film isn't higher in the list, because Christopher Lee's not in. In 5th place, we've got Dracula, also known as Horror of Dracula, from 1958. This is once again directed by Terence Fisher, and it's a landmark film. Both Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing are in, and it's a highly regarded film. A lot of fans will put this top of the list. There's some great scenes. I love the part when this woman gets staked and she turns into an old hag in a coffin. Christopher Lee's entrance when he's snarling and he has red eyes. That's a great scene. And I also like the death sequence when sunlight makes him dissolve. And there's some uncut scenes that have been inserted into the film that were missing. And I never used to think much of this film, but it keeps getting higher in the list every time I watch it, and I appreciate it a lot more now. However, there's still 4 films that I enjoy more than this one. In 4th place, I've got Taste the Blood of Dracula from 1970. It's directed by Peter Sasdy, and it's a strange film because Dracula's not in much. At the beginning of the film, we see a lot of Ralph Bates playing Lord Courtly. He gets these Victorian gentlemen, these 3 guys, to drink from these cups Dracula's blood to activate them. Great scene. And Dracula uses the offspring to kill these hypocritical parents. This film has great characterisation. The character of Hargood, he's a real swine in this film. It's great when he gets killed. The only downside to this film's the weird ending when Dracula dies in a church. But apart from that, it's an outstanding film.
You fools! You pathetic, spineless fools! You drink then! You drink it! You drink the filth!
In 3rd place, we've got Dracula Air 1972. These last 3 films are 3 of my favourite all-time horror films. And as you can see behind us, Dracula Air 1972, great poster. Dracula Air 1972 is directed by Alan Gibson, who also does the Satanic rights of Dracula. And it's a very underrated film. A lot of fans hate this film. However, it is a cult film now. Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee are in. There's a great prologue when Van Helsing kills Dracula years ago, 100 years. And then you see a shot of an aeroplane flying past. Then the date, 1972. It's an excellent shot. This film has a great cast. It has a very 70s vibe to it. The activation scene's great. They're doing a ceremony in a church. Carolyn Monroe gets covered in blood. And the ending between Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee's great as well. It's a really fast-moving film. And I think Peter Cushing's, he does 2 great performances in these Alan Gibson films. You get a lot of criticism from fans because of Stone Ground doing the music. There's a scene where there's a party. But I think it's a good laugh. Great film. In 2nd place, I've got The Satanic Rites of Dracula from 1973. Also directed by Alan Gibson. And it's kind of like a sequel to Dracula Day 1972. You can almost class these 2 films as a 2-parter. Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing are back again. And it has a lot of the same cast. Even Inspector Murray's back. However, Joanna Lumley replaces Van Helsing's granddaughter, Jessica. Stephanie Beecham was in Dracula Day 1972, but now it's Joanna Lumley. The film has great titles and music. I love the Shadow of Dracula right at the beginning where you see the credits. And it has a great epic ending as well. This is definitely a best way to end the series instead of Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires that came later. I class this as the end of the series. In the film, Dracula wants to end it all by creating this virus to kill everyone because he's sick of people bringing them back to life, so he wants a virus to just end everything. And he gets trapped in a hawthorn bush where they made the crown of thorns for Christ. And instead of suffering, dying, Van Helsing stakes and puts him out of his misery. Great scene that. And he keeps his ring as well, gives it a little blow at the end of the film. I love that scene. However, there's one more film that's better than this one.
Do not meddle, or you will have to deal with me.
You are Count Dracula.
In 1st place, it's Dracula's Risen from the Grave from 1968. This was directed by Freddie Francis and it's an outstanding film. Right from the beginning there's scary titles, you say blood vessels, and Freddie Francis used filters to make the edges of the film look yellow when evil is near. So when Dracula's present, a lot of the times the edges of the film's like amber looking. It's great effect and it creates an evil atmosphere. The only thing that's missing's Peter Cushing. However, the cast make up for that. I think you say Christopher Lee's read contact lenses more in this film than any other. And there's a great ending. I think it's the best ending of the lot, where Christopher Lee falls on a cross, so Dracula's eyes are red. You see a scene where there's blood coming out of his eyes before they go black. And this was the first film I watched as a kid. That ending terrified us. I couldn't sleep on a night. And it's because of this film that gave us a love for horror films. So it's a classic film, very nostalgic for me. That's partly one of the reasons why it's top of the list.
Sed liberados.
So, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave your comments below, because I'd be curious to know what your order of the films are. I bet they're completely different to mine. So look out for some more reviews. See you next time. Bye everyone. Like, subscribe and share. Bye. Bye.